He jumped in that car and he took off. Whew, like that.
Frightening moments at a popular South Tulsa park this morning. A woman held at gunpoint, her car and cell phone stolen, but it turns out that gunman wasn't acting alone. 2 Works For You's Lorraine Callender shares the bizarre scheme that targeted this unsuspecting victim. It's a story you'll see only on 2.
74-year-old Ellen Agranis walks 30 miles a week, either along the River Park or Creek Turnpike Trail.
I have been doing this for years and have never had a bad experience.
Until Tuesday morning in the parking lot of 68th and Riverside. It started when a man approached her car.
Asked me if I could give him directions to Inola.
She didn't know off the top of her head, so she went to look at her phone.
Suddenly, he had this gun pointing at me.
She says she couldn't believe what was happening.
And for a nanosecond, my thought was, is this a joke?
But it was far from a joke. He demanded her keys and phone, then took off in her car. Ellen says another man came up and told her he saw everything and was calling the police.
He said, they're on their way, they'll be here in a few minutes. Why don't you sit down in the shade and wait for them?
She waited about 10 minutes. Another woman approached her asking what happened.
And she was pregnant and her baby was due December 26th. So it's going to be a Christmas baby. We were just having this nice little chat.
After that woman left and still no police, Ellen grew suspicious and asked a man nearby to call her family and police.
They say, well, there was no report of a theft.
Turns out they were in this together. Ellen believes their delay tactics were planned.
I just thank God that I was safe.
It wasn't until Ellen's son Doug used an app called Find My Phone, which led officers to the location of the vehicle.
When I was actually talking to the officer, I was telling her I do have this on here, and it's like, oh, all of a sudden it's turned back on, and that is exactly to the parking spot where they are.
The 3 were arrested and charged. Ellen got her car and phone back. While she says this experience doesn't scare her from walking along the river, she's going to be far more cautious.
My advice to anybody is do not keep valuables in your car.
In Tulsa, Lorraine Callender, 2 Works For You.
Now, Tulsa police officers say always beware of your surroundings. If you're in a parking lot by yourself, always watch to see who's around you. And just like Ellen, if someone is threatening you, authorities say it really is best to give them what they want.
That is the right thing, yes. If someone, especially with a gun, threatens you with a gun, give them what they want. A car and a cell phone's not worth getting hurt over.
Sergeant Blair urges drivers to keep vehicles locked and avoid putting valuables where someone else can see them. And if you witness a crime, call 911 immediately.